Hey, did you know that 60% of Americans say they've made a major money mistake they regret? That's right. 6 out of 10 of us have had a financial facepalm moment that keeps us up at night. Money is one of those things we all deal with, but nobody really talks about the messy stuff. The overspending sprees, the missed opportunities, the why did I do that? Decisions that haunt us. Today, we're diving into real money confessions from everyday people just like you and me, teachers, baristas, parents, and more. From epic wins to cringeworthy flops, these stories are going to make you laugh, maybe cry, and definitely think twice about your own wallet. Stick around because you won't believe what one guy did with his entire paycheck. I'm Alex Harper, and I'm obsessed with how money shapes our lives, not just the numbers in your bank account, but the stories behind them. We've all had those moments where we check our balance and just cringe, right? Maybe it was that impulse buy you didn't need, or that time you thought you could figure it out later. I've been there too. That's why I'm so excited to share these raw, unfiltered confessions from regular folks who've been through it all: financial triumphs, disasters, and everything in between. By the end of this, you'll walk away with practical tips to avoid their pitfalls and maybe even score a win of your own. Let's dive into the stories. First up, let's talk about Sarah, a 28-year-old graphic designer from Chicago. Sarah was living her best life, freelancing for clients across the city and finally making decent money after years of scraping by. She felt like she'd hit a milestone: stable income, a cute apartment, and a social life that was popping. Then one day, a shiny new credit card offer landed in her mailbox. 0% interest for a full year. It sounded like a dream. Why not treat myself? Sarah thought. I've earned it. So she signed up, got the card, and went to town. New clothes, fancy dinners, a weekend getaway to Miami. Before she knew it, she'd racked up $5,000 in charges. At first, it felt like she was winning. She was living the life she'd always dreamed of, and that 0% interest meant no immediate consequences. But when the promotional period ended, boom. The interest rate shot up to 20% APR, and suddenly her minimum payments were eating half her freelance income. Sarah told me it felt like her paycheck wasn't even hers anymore. It was the credit card company's. She was stuck making payments for 2 years, barely denting the principal. I wish I'd read the fine print, she admitted. I thought I was in control, but I was just digging a hole. Sarah's lesson is one we can all learn from. Those too good to be true credit card offers usually are. If you're tempted by a new card, check the interest rate, fees, and what happens after the promotional period ends. Better yet, only spend what you can pay off each month. Sarah's back on her feet now, but she's sworn off credit cards for good. Cash or bust, she says with a laugh. Now let's switch gears to a story that'll give you hope. Meet Jamal, a 35-year-old school teacher from Atlanta. Jamal was not a finance guy. He was just trying to make ends meet on a teacher's salary, juggling rent, groceries, and student loans. But one day, he stumbled across a blog post about investing in low-cost index funds. It sounded simple enough. Put a little money into a fund that tracks the stock market and let it grow over time. Jamal didn't have much to spare, but he decided to start small. $50 a month from his paycheck, automatically deposited into a retirement account. At first, it didn't feel like much. $50 was a couple of takeout meals or a night out with friends. But Jamal stuck with it, month after month, even when the market dipped and his account balance looked shaky. Fast forward 10 years, and that consistent $50 a month habit turned into a $20,000 nest egg. I couldn't believe it, Jamal said. I'm not rich, but seeing that number made me feel like I had options for the first time. His secret? He didn't try to time the market or chase hot stocks like crypto or tech startups. He just picked a low-cost index fund, set up automatic contributions, and let time and compound interest do the heavy lifting. Jamal's story shows that you don't need to be a Wall Street wizard to build wealth. Start small, be consistent, and don't let market fluctuations scare you off. If Jamal can turn $50 a month into $20,000, imagine what you could do with a little patience. His advice? Don't wait until you feel ready to invest. Start now, even if it's just $10. You'll thank yourself later. This next story hits hard. Meet Lisa, a 42-year-old single mom from a small town in Texas. Lisa was always the strong one in her family, the one who held it together no matter what. But behind the scenes, she was drowning in stress over $10,000 in medical debt from her son's emergency appendectomy. The bills started piling up right after the surgery, and Lisa felt like she'd failed her kid. "I couldn't sleep," she told me. "I'd lie awake at night, wondering how I'd ever pay it off." The shame was overwhelming. She didn't tell her friends or family, afraid they'd judge her for not having it all together. For years, Lisa tried to chip away at the debt on her own, but the interest kept growing, and her minimum payments barely made a dent. Finally, she hit a breaking point and reached out to a nonprofit debt counseling service. That call changed everything. The counselor helped her negotiate a payment plan with the hospital, lowering her monthly payments to something she could actually afford. For the first time in years, Lisa started sleeping through the night. "I wish I'd asked for help sooner," she said. "I thought I had to do it alone, but there were people out there who understood." Lisa's story is a reminder that money struggles don't make you a failure. They make you human. If you're dealing with debt, don't let shame stop you from seeking help. Organizations like the National Foundation for Credit Counseling offer free or low-cost advice, and many hospitals have financial assistance programs. Lisa's advice? Swallow your pride and make the call. It's not about admitting defeat. It's about taking back control. Now here's the story you've been waiting for, the guy who did something wild with his entire paycheck. Meet Carlos, a 25-year-old barista from Los Angeles. Carlos was a huge sneakerhead, obsessed with limited edition kicks. One day he got his hands on a pair of rare sneakers that were reselling for thousands online. He saw a chance to flip them for a profit and thought, "This is my big break." So, in a moment of pure impulse, he spent his entire $1,200 paycheck on more sneakers, hoping to resell them and double his money. Spoiler alert, it didn't go as planned. The sneaker market crashed right after he bought them, and Carlos was left with a closet full of shoes he couldn't sell. To make matters worse, he had to borrow money from his roommate to cover rent. "I felt like such an idiot," he said. "I thought I was going to be a sneaker mogul, but I was just broke." It took him 6 months to recover financially, and he had to sell his beloved sneaker collection at a loss to do it. Carlos's story is a classic example of chasing a get-rich-quick scheme. Whether it's sneakers, crypto, or some viral investment trend, the promise of fast money can be tempting, but it's usually a trap. Carlos learned to stick to a budget and avoid betting his financial stability on risky ventures. His advice? If it sounds like easy money, it's probably not. Save your paycheck for the boring stuff. It's less stressful. Let's balance out the flops with another win. Meet Maria, a 30-year-old nurse from Miami. Maria was working long shifts at the hospital, but she still struggled to save for her dream of buying a house. Determined to make extra cash, she started a side hustle selling handmade candles online. At first, it was just a hobby. She'd make a few candles after work and sell them to friends. But word spread, and soon, she was getting orders from strangers across the country. Maria reinvested her profits into better supplies and learned how to market her candles on social media. Within 2 years, her side hustle was bringing in $1,000 a month, enough to start a down payment fund for her house. "It wasn't easy," she said. "I was working nights at the hospital and making candles on my days off, but seeing that savings account grow kept me going." Maria's now just a year away from buying her first home, and she credits her side hustle for making it possible. Maria's story shows the power of taking small, intentional steps toward a goal. A side hustle doesn't have to be glamorous. It could be dog walking, tutoring, or selling crafts like Maria. The key is to start with something you enjoy and scale it up over time. Her tip? Don't wait for the perfect idea. Just start, even if it's small. You'll figure it out as you go. These stories are all so different, but they share one thing in common. They're about real people navigating the messy human side of money. Let's break down some practical lessons you can apply to your own life, so you can avoid the pitfalls and maybe score a win like Jamal or Maria. Tip 1. Read the fine print on credit cards. Sarah's story is a wake-up call. Before you sign up for a new card, check the interest rate, annual fees, and what happens after any promotional period ends. If you can't pay off the balance each month, skip the card altogether. Apps like Mint or YNAB can help you track your spending and stay on top of payments. Tip 2. Start investing small like Jamal. You don't need thousands to start building wealth. Open a retirement account or brokerage account and set up automatic contributions. Even $20 a month in a low-cost index fund can grow over time. Platforms like Vanguard or Fidelity make it easy to get started with low fees. The key is consistency, not chasing hot trends. Tip 3. Don't bottle up money stress. Lisa's story shows how dangerous shame can be. If you're struggling with debt or financial anxiety, talk to someone you trust, a friend, family member, or professional. The National Foundation for Credit Counseling, nfcc.org, offers free resources, and many communities have local nonprofits that can help. You're not alone, and there's no shame in asking for support. Tip 4. Avoid get-rich-quick schemes. Carlos learned this the hard way. Whether it's flipping sneakers, day trading, or jumping on the latest crypto hype, quick money usually comes with big risks. Stick to a budget and prioritize steady, boring financial habits, like saving 10% of your income or paying off high-interest debt. Tip 5. Consider a side hustle. Maria's candle business proves that a little extra effort can go a long way. Think about your skills or hobbies. Could you freelance, sell a product, or offer a service? Platforms like Etsy, Fiverr, or TaskRabbit can help you get started. Even a few hours a week can add up to big savings. These confessions have been wild, right? From Sarah's credit card disaster to Jamal's investing win, Lisa's debt struggle, Carlos's sneaker flop, and Maria's side hustle success, we've seen the highs and lows of money decisions. Now I want to hear from you. What's your wildest money confession? Maybe you blew a paycheck on something silly like Carlos, or maybe you had a big win like Maria. Drop your story in the comments. I read every single one, and I'm dying to hear what you've been through. No judgment here, just real talk. If you found these stories helpful, let's keep the money convo going. Next week, I'm diving into money hacks you wish you knew sooner, packed with tips to save smarter, invest better, and stress less. Hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you don't miss it. And if you're ready to take action, pick one tip from this list and try it this week. Whether it's checking your credit card terms, setting up a small investment, or reaching out for help. You've got this, and I'm rooting for you. Let's keep it real. Money isn't just about numbers. It's about the choices we make, the risks we take, and the lessons we learn. So, what's your money story? Share it below, and let's learn from each other.